Hello everyone, it is Leon here and I am with Joel.
Hi.
Who has been playing Assassin's Creed 4 on PS4.
Yeah, several hours off.
And we were just, I was just talking to Joel as I was putting this video together about how freaking amazing it looks like in terms of frame rate and fidelity and the sharpness of it. I was expecting it to look good. I was quite blown away. You said it didn't look quite as good.
It does. The frame rate is perhaps not quite as solid as it is in this video, but I've been saying since E3 that it's the best looking next gen game that I've seen, bar possibly The Witcher, but that's not out for like another year or so. So in terms of like the early launch window stuff, I've been saying for ages it's the best looking game out there, and it absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean
it's just incredible.
It looks astonishing. I mean, this is obviously just an engine cutscene. We're about to see some gameplay in a moment, but yeah, just
the game itself looks nigh on the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's the faces and things, and the animation, and the world is just remarkable. Like, it's such a nice place to be.
Yeah. Now this immediately looks like just old-fashioned kind of Assassin's Creed, doesn't it? You could be in Jerusalem again.
Yeah, and actually there are quite a lot of similarities in terms of the core activities and missions. It's really what they've built around those that's going to make the difference here. Like I say, this is a mission where you're in Nassau and you have to recruit a load of people to go on work on your ship that you've just taken.
Was that a bullet shield just then?
Yeah.
Does that work this time?
Yeah, it works better than it did in 3, yeah.
That looked painful.
So basically you're going around Nassau and you're helping people who've been taken captive by the military and kind of freeing them. There's a guy who's been being hung, there's some people who are like just being captive gunpoint, and then there's people who are in like open combat. So you basically go around and you free them, and then as you'll see here, they sort of do a little bro hug, and then and then they just get sent back to your ship. And then you have a crew in order to like take on other ships and that kind of thing. So it's structurally quite similar to other Assassin's games. The line that I've been peddling for the last couple of weeks is that if you've never played an Assassin's game before, this will absolutely blow your mind.
Yeah.
If you've played all of them and are very familiar with them, you'll be less wowed, but it'll still do pretty much what you wanted the last game to do.
I'm still wowed. I mean, the animation during that
I don't
fight
just
scene.
mean graphically, I mean in terms of like the gameplay and everything else. I think if you'd never played one of these before and you're suddenly put there with like all the killing and the fight mechanics and the exploration and the climbing, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. Yeah,
well, already, that hanging, saving the guy from the hanging mission, that feels like a level of variety that it didn't have in 3.
Yeah, and also the things play out much faster now, which is really useful. Like, if you get in combat, you can kill everyone much quicker. If you just want to run away, you can break chases like 10 times faster, so it doesn't go on and on and on, which the other games really had a tendency to do. You know, you'd get accidentally seen when you were basically innocently running across a rooftop, and you spend the next 5 minutes darting in and out of alleys miles away from where you wanted to be just to get away, and that doesn't happen anymore. And there's wenches, all the wenches.
Maybe you like the wenches, yes.
Yeah, and you know, he's a bit more interesting. He's got a bit about him. He's a kind of a bit of a bastard.
It's kind of a Han Solo almost kind of thing, isn't it?
That's what they keep saying. Yeah. And my qualm is whether we're going to actually end up liking him throughout the game, because if we don't, it's going to be difficult spending 30-40 hours in his boots, but I'm assured that we will. And
that's what made 2 though so good, wasn't it? You know,
he's a sort of lovable rogue, but like a bit of a prick at the same time. So one of the key things that they have changed is stealth, i.e. there's stealth, which 3 didn't really have. The stealth in Assassins has always been kind of ropey to some extent, and it's not necessarily that the mechanics haven't worked, it's that the levels haven't been designed very intelligently, so you can't stay hidden because of things like where the cover is, where the guards are positioned, where the patrols go.
It's often occasionally felt like they've designed a stealth game and then later on designed some levels, but haven't told the people it's got to be a stealth game.
Whereas they seem to have done a much better job of this now. So like this mission I played through, you have to follow this guy to a plantation and then get the key and like raid his storehouse, and you can do it all without being seen, without endless replays and without too much difficulty. So that's good.
Now this is interesting. So this looks like they've taken the Far Cry animal hunting and trapping kind of mechanic and crafting as well, and just sort of incorporated it wholesale into the game, which I think is a good thing because it worked beautifully in Far Cry 3.
Yeah, they had some very unsatisfying hunting in Assassin's Creed 3, whereas the hunting in Far Cry 3 was actually one of the most fun things in the whole game, and part of the reason it was so enjoyable was because you had tangible rewards.
Air assassinate an ocelot. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? What a sentence. In Far Cry you had tangible rewards. You had bigger holsters, you had increased powers for certain things, guns and stuff like that. Same is true here. So, for instance, I killed a couple of ocelot and a couple of...
It's exactly the same, isn't it, Far Cry?
Iguanas, yes.
So more
now
holsters.
You've got a second... I think this is the second pistol holster you get, and in a sec he upgrades his health. And there's another system, which we'll see in a minute, for the boat, which is kind of the same. But yeah, it's basically, like you said, it's Far Cry-esque. Even the way the menus move has actually got quite a sort of Far Cry shadow to them. So here, for instance, we're upgrading the ship's hull. And they work on two different systems. So if you upgrade Kenway's personal stuff, like guns, holsters, or health, that's by hunting animals. When you upgrade the boat, that's from resources you plunder when you take down other ships.
Yeah.
So anytime you take another ship, you get things like wood and... I don't know.
You can break the ship down,
basically.
Can't you?
I honestly can't remember the exact they break down into, but you get stuff, and you use that stuff to then upgrade the hull, the cannons, the sails, all of that. Yeah, I mean, that
beautiful.
Looks absolutely stunning.
I'd quite happily do that.
That's as good as anything you've seen on a console.
Yeah, I'd quite happily do that for a few hours. Just sail around.
Yeah, it's great. And I was saying earlier, it's like a wonderful game for like escapism, much like GTA 5 is, that sunny kind of idyllic Los Santos world. This is the kind of place you just want to be, and like especially if it's drizzling and cold outside, you just think, what I'll do, I'll just sail around the Caribbean for a while. It's absolutely lovely. And thankfully, the sailing mechanic and particularly the combat works much better this time. So there's an extra speed of travel, which they're doing now, which is called travel speed. But it basically means you go very, very quickly. So you go very, very quickly across the map, and the map is enormous. I can barely fathom how big the map is. So it's quite useful. You can also, just to mention, you can fast travel not just to any island that you've previously been to, you can fast travel to any viewpoint in any island that you've previously been to.
Whoa, okay.
Which is really, really good.
Yeah.
So that was something I didn't know until the creative director told me, and I thought that was really impressive. Sorry, sailing. Yes, sailing is much easier to control a boat, and it's far more enjoyable to fight against other boats, because before it was this kind of weird tugboat on ice style dance where you'd kind of slide around each other trying to line up the side cannons. Now there's a cannon on the front as well, so you can attack as you're coming up to people. The swivel guns are much better and they have a wider range of fire, and you can also drop explosive barrels out the back to get rid of anyone who's following you.
Right.
So it kind of makes battles A, more fun, and B, quicker, which is very good.
Cool. And we're seeing some of the underwater stuff here. So what do you get out of this? Is it a mission thing? Is it do you
It's a side mission. There are little icons on the map where you can go. You can dive off your ship and swim around whenever you want.
Yeah.
But to do this, there's like little icons. You throw your diving bell out and you go underwater, and it's basically sort of like a mini game in as much as there's usually a number of treasure chests for you to find, and you have to balance getting the treasure with your water meter, your oxygen meter, and also the various bits of quite dangerous wildlife that's swimming around the sea. I found it really stressful because you can't really fight back against the animals, so you have to stay out of their way. There's sharks, as you can see. That was not the most aggressive shark ever. And there are like barracuda and stuff like that, and a lot of the treasure chests are like quite hidden, and you don't have that long to get them, and it really stressed me out. But it's quite fun.
Yeah. Oh, now we're seeing some of the
fighting. So you can fire your cannons far more rapidly. They don't take as long to reload. Like the swivel gun, that's like 3 quick fires there. Those red things on the sea are enemy mortar rounds, which is new, so you need to try and stay out of the way of those.
What's the yellow bit, or is that
the
just...
yellow bit is where it's going to be. If
right.
you're in it when it's red, you're in trouble. You brace with square like you used to. Again, it's not as laborious and doesn't take quite as long.
Yeah.
And there's loads of different ship types to fight against. So basically what you do is you that looks really good. You use your spyglass to like pan the horizon, and it'll tell you what kind of ship you're going to be up against, what level it is. The ships have various levels, so you go from I think I fought like a level 4 schooner, which takes like 2 seconds to kill, and then there are ones which are like level 17 military hunters, and I think they go all the way up to essentially nigh on impossible. You have to have basically got your ship completely upgraded to even get close to them, type thing.
That looks like a set piece in a current gen game,
Absolutely.
not just something you can go off and do.
No, and you can do this whenever you want. You know, anytime you see a ship, you can attack it, and then when you get it to the point where it's like burning, you then have to board it. And you can send your men to board the ships. You can fire the swivel guns yourself, like manually, just get Edward and man them, or you can go and get your hands dirty. You can like zip up to the top of the mast and jump down. You can swing on ropes. It's really, really fun. And yeah, and then the cast of characters seems like it's going to be more interesting than kind of endless po-faced people talking about their homestead and stuff.
Is this a following mission?
Yeah, unfortunately, there are following missions. I had to play one, and I had to do 2 eavesdropping missions, which really, really shouldn't be in this game anymore.
Did it work better than the last one?
No,
I remember in
no.
3, that pub where you couldn't find the spot to stand in.
No, it didn't. Unfortunately, there is the odd moment where it lapses into the series' old bad habits.
Yeah.
There's too many walk and talks, which are really boring. There's still things like eavesdropping and tailing, which shouldn't be happening anymore. It's the kind of thing that like a game like GTA doesn't make you do, and that's why you never get tired of basically playing those kind of games. Hopefully they're less here, but they shouldn't be there anymore. And it's disappointing to see that they are, and they function in basically exactly the same way. But that said, there's so much other good stuff that it'll more than balance out.
Yeah, wow.
And it looks like this, so yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to say really. I mean, the sort of the video speaks for itself. I'm sort of struggling not to make sort of little noises every time something happens. It just looks so incredible.
Looks great. Plays much as you'd want it to. It's Assassins.
Yeah.
You know, it'll probably look distinctly less good on PS3, but on PS4, it's remarkable.
Cool. Look forward to playing it.